Hi everyone, it's Miss Amy, and today I have a story to read you that goes along with consequences for our actions. This is called Shubert, Rants, and Raves, and what we are trying to do in calm and in conscious discipline is to make sure that children know it is completely okay to be angry or upset. Everyone feels angry and upset. To not assign, you know, a label that that's a bad feeling, that we should feel bad for feeling angry or upset, because we shouldn't. It's just what we do with it. And to make sure that we don't hurt anyone else or ourselves when we're very angry or upset. Also encouraging children to use their big voice to express their anger and frustration, and giving them the regulation tools of deep breathing, sensory exercises to calm themselves down, and just to kind of make sure that they don't associate being angry with negative things, but also that there's consequences when we're very angry and we act out or overreact, that there's always a better way to do that. So instead of a punishment or making kids feel bad for overreacting, again, we have to help them regulate their behavior. They don't know how to do that yet. So that's so important as a parent, as a teacher, a mentor, for us to remember that. And it's really easy to forget that. I certainly have plenty of times, and especially in dealing with my own children, that it's natural to get upset, and we have to remember that we have to teach children that there's natural consequences for their actions. This is Shubert, Rants, and Raves. Hooray, hooray, a field trip today. Hooray, hooray, I'll play, play, play. Are you ready for your big day at school? Questions Sarah, Schubert's mom. I'm so excited it's hard to stay still, wiggles Shubert. Well, let's get those wiggles out. Are your hands ready to go out the door? And Shubert chants and claps his hands and says, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, they are. Are your legs ready to go out the door? Shubert chants and slaps his legs. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, they are. Are your feet ready to go out the door? Shubert chants and stomps his feet. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, they are. Well then, feet, Sarah exclaims, start walking. With more joy than 2 birthday parties in 1 year, Shubert grabs his backpack and heads off to school. At school, Schubert's school family is filled with wiggles, giggles, and glee. To help everyone calm down, Mrs. Bookbinder calls on Etta, the class star leader, for assistance. Etta puts on her star glasses, signaling to the class to stop, smile, take a deep breath, and relax. Mrs. Bookbinder then asks the class a series of questions. Are you ready for the field trip and the field trip rules? The class chants, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, we are. Are you ready to work together? The class chants and claps, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, we are. Are your feet ready to walk together? Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, they are. The class chants and stomps. Mrs. Bookbinder collects the field trip permission slips from Etta, Crenshaw, Lucinda, the aunt triplets, Sophie, and Benny. The permission slips are part of the school rules. You can't leave the school to go on a field trip without your permission slip from home. When she gets to Shubert, she sees his body slumped over with his head down and his bottom lip quivering. Shubert, your body is telling me something happened, Mrs. Bookbinder inquires. I forgot my permission slip, but I can still go. My mom said it was okay. She knows we're going. She signed the form, but I left it on the table at home. So there's our first real natural consequence, that it's an accident, it's a mistake. No one means for it to happen, but when we forget things, we have to take responsibility for what happens. He couldn't go on the field trip without their permission slip, and that's just a rule to keep him safe. So it's very hard for children to understand. It's hard for adults to understand that that feeling of disappointment is hard. Oh, Shubert, how disappointing for you. You were so excited about the field trip, but you may not go without your permission slip. It is not safe. You can stay in the library or with Miss Carol. Which is better for you? So she's trying to give him two choices of alternatives besides the field trip, but he doesn't want to hear that right now. Shubert did not answer. He turned and walked away. He felt disappointment turn to anger. His face felt hot. His eyes were bugging out of his head. His lightning bug body glowed fiery red, and his heart pounded so hard that it felt like it might pop out of his chest. He was going on that field trip, and no one was going to stop him. Again, all very natural reactions. He screamed, "I'll rant and rave, and I'll break the rules down." Mrs. Bookbinder felt and heard Schubert's anger. She immediately began breathing deeply so she could help him. "Shubert, this is so disappointing. You were excited about going, and you can't. It seems like you're having a difficult time with all these feelings, but you can handle it. It's hard, but I know you can do it. Breathe with me," she says. Shubert was not interested in breathing. He was going on that field trip, he shouted. "I will get my mom to come down here and she will fix it. She'll rant and rave and she'll break the rules down." Mrs. Bookbinder continued to help Shubert handle his feelings. "It is hard when things seem out of your control. You seem so angry. You don't know what to do with all your feelings, but you can handle this. Breathe with me." So she's continuing to encourage him through his upset. But she's not pushing. She's just staying calm and encouraging him so that he can kind of arrive at that on his own. Shubert was not interested in breathing. He was going on that field trip, and that was that. He screamed, "I'll get the President of the United States to come to school, and he will fix things. He'll rant and rave, and he'll break the rules down." Mrs. Bookbinder knew she needed help. She turned to the class and said, "School family, Shubert needs our help. He forgot his permission slip and will not be going on the field trip. He feels angry and is having trouble handling such a big disappointment. Let's all wish him well." So again, encouraging the children to help her help another child. So there's kind of a shared responsibility and expectation. Schubert's anger begins to fade. Now he feels sadness. Tears come to his eyes. He wished he had remembered his permission slip. After a minute, Shubert chooses to spend the day in the library. So even though he's hurt and upset because the teacher, Mrs. Bookbinder, stayed calm, it helped him to calm down eventually too. It's not going to happen automatically, as we all know with kids. But when they have some time to process and breathe, even though they're still upset and disappointed, if we stay calm and we encourage them to do the same thing and to understand that this is not a punishment, this is just a consequence of forgetting, eventually that becomes more natural. As he walked to the library, he begins to sing a song. "I ran it and raved most of the day to break down the rules and get my way. I'm breathing now. I won't fight anymore. Next time I'm going to tape the field trip slip to the door." So I love when I read this to kids, and I always point that out and always tell them Miss Amy has to put notes all the time on the door for myself, or put things right by the door so I don't forget them. And you can really see that registering with kids, especially when they know of a personal example and that they realize that no one is going out of their way to hurt the child. It's a consequence. It's something that happened from a mistake that he made. It's an accident. It's a mistake. We all make them. That's so important too, to make sure that children know we've all made mistakes. It's an accident, but there's still, consequences from it. So the more that we stay calm and encourage children in that way, the more naturally consequences come, instead of go to timeout. We're taking, your fun Friday away. You're not going to pick out of the treasure box. Give me back that candy. You're not going to get that. Those are not consequences that cause lasting change in children's behavior. Just for the moment, it might kind of make an impact or upset them or make them more upset in the moment. But really what causes lasting change is for us to help children arrive at the idea that this is a natural consequence. It's really not a punishment, it's just what happens as a result of their actions. So I hope that that was helpful and that you got something out of it. Again, that is Shubert, Rants, and Raves. It's a really good story, and kids that I've read it to really respond to it. They understand. So a great story, and I wish you well, and I hope it's something that's helpful for you at home or in your classroom. Have a great evening.